All right, you've got Copilot Chat in Word, PowerPoint, Outlook, and Teams. The free version that comes with your M365 business subscription. You've opened it up, you've typed something like, help me with my work, and got back a response that was fine, I suppose, but not exactly life-changing. Here's the thing. Having Copilot is a bit like having a really keen intern who's brilliant but needs very clear instructions. If you're vague, you get vague results. However, if you're specific, you can get gold. And nobody teaches you this bit. I'm Michelle, and I've been testing Copilot Chat, the free version that comes with my M365 Business Standard license, for the past couple of weeks. And I've worked what actually makes a difference. In this video, I'm going to show you 6 real scenarios using the apps where I do have access and demonstrate what I can actually achieve with just the free version. And I'm going to do this live, real demos, not just slides. So you can see exactly how this works. Let's start with email, because that's probably where most of us spend way too much time. I'm in Outlook on the web. Let's start up Copilot. What I need is a clear and specific prompt. Of course, here's one I wrote earlier. So you can see it includes a specific message. I want a drafter-friendly reply. Mention what I do, include dates are in March, and I've given it a size as well. If I now get that to generate, thanks so much for reaching out, much friendlier, all of that, my next available dates, and it gives me all of that information. It also gives me the option to make it shorter or more casual or styled differently. And remember, the big thing about using the included Copilot Chat is this won't let me add it straight into the email. I do need to copy the response, but then you can see I can just paste it into the email that I've already got. Do I still need to edit this? Well, yes, I'll tweak the wording to sound more like me, but I've gone from staring at a blank email to having a solid draft in 30 seconds. Specific request equals useful results. Let's try Word next. I create a lot of training materials and blog posts, so this is where I will use Copilot the most. I have got 2 places that I can access Copilot from. So first off, I've got the standard Copilot on the ribbon, which opens up a Copilot Chat pane here on the right-hand side. However, you can see it actually says press Alt-I to draft with Copilot. So if I try that, you can see I have got the option to describe what I want to do in a text box at the top of my screen. Now these are basically the same thing, so it's completely your choice which option you prefer to use. I'm going back to the chat on the right-hand side. What I want is a prompt that's specific to my needs in this case. As you can see, I want a beginner-friendly explanation of, and I've now given it a specific prompt, Excel's autofill, with an example, no jargon, and in a friendly and encouraging tone. So let's see what I get. So it's confirmed what I've wanted, and it now has given me a lot more information. So this is much better. It's the right length, short. It's got an example. There we go. And it's actually explaining in plain English. I can see it says a list of dates, grab the fill handle, and it'll give me the 2nd and the 3rd of March, etc. So that's a really good example of what a beginner would need to know. Now, again, is it exactly how I'd write it? Not really. I'd probably add in a bit more personality, but as a first draft that I can edit, it's absolutely fine. And of course, if I want to use it, I'm just going to click Add to Doc to let me edit it. Now here's something really useful with the free Copilot Chat version. I can upload files and ask questions about them in Word and PowerPoint. This is particularly handy when I've got a document and I need to analyse it or pull out information. With the free version, I come up with the document I currently have open, or I can paste content in. The paid version would actively search through all my files automatically, but this still works fine for documents I have open and I'm currently working on. So let's give this a go. And what I would really like is to summarise this document in 5 bullet points. Please summarize this document. Never heard of my business. See what it comes up with. It's reviewing the data and creating a summary. And there we have 5 bullet points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which I can use if I need a quick overview or an elevator pitch. Let's now rewrite this as a 100-word intro for my website about pitch. Again, it's thinking, reviewing, and we've got a more concise version. And there it is. Same information, different format, different length. This is really useful when you've got content but need to repurpose it for different uses. Honestly, could I have done this myself? Yes, of course I could. Would it have taken me a lot longer? Also yes. The point isn't that Copilot can do things you can't do, is that it does them faster so you can focus on the work that actually needs your brain. But for documents, presentations, content creation, this works brilliantly. Presentations, I really don't create as many of these, but when I do need one for a workshop or a pitch, this can be quite handy. Let's go into Copilot. The prompt that I'm going to use this time gives the details that I need. So it's 5 slides. I've told it the purpose, teams for a small business with 5 to 10 employees. I've said what I want the title of each slide to be and to use a clean and professional design, keeping it to minimal. You can see that's specific. You'll notice it hasn't actually created it for me. So Copilot Chat is only giving me the content. If you notice, here in PowerPoint, there's a little button at the top of my first slide that says Copilot. If you wanted to actually create the presentation for you, remember this is still with my M365 Business Standard license, I can click Create a New Presentation. I've pasted in the same prompt that I just used, and let's click the button. So this should start generating things. The first question is, what do I want it to look like? So it has basically ignored use the clean professional setup. Let's just use the suggested, that's fine. Where should it get the images from? Let's choose stock images and see what it happens. And then let's estimated number of slides is 2. So that's interesting because again, that's ignored my 5 slide request. Let's generate the slides and I can choose to keep it or I can bin it. So let's keep it for now. And if I go into the slides, you can see that what it's done is it's just taken the text and it hasn't followed my instructions at all. It's probably better in this example to have used the Copilot pane and got it to generate the content, and then for me to just copy and paste to create the slides instead. Am I going to use what it created? No, not at all. It's not what I wanted. I gave it the exact structure that I wanted, which the chat pane followed. The create presentation didn't. Specific instructions gives you a much better and more useful output. So another thing that I do use quite a lot is research. Is for looking things up and checking on things. So let me show you how that works and how I use it. I prefer going through a chat through the web browser. I just find that better. One of the things, of course, as a trainer that I'm always interested in is looking up new features and trying to stay current with what Microsoft has updated or changed. So let's look at what could be, for me, a typical research task. Let's start with what's new in MS in 2026. It's searching the web and pulling information from multiple sources. Let's have a look at this. It's got a deeper integration across M365. Okay, that's good. Major enhancements to the collaborative workflow, roadmap updates, admin governance expanded changes for planner integration, and what's being removed, improved workspace management, positioning and long-term outlook. It's given me a summary at the bottom just to give me that quick overview for what I need. This is where using Copilot for research really comes in useful because I can follow up. So let's try which of these features be most useful for a solo business. It's now filtering that information specifically for my audience, and it's highlighted, let's see, components and Outlook and Teams, perfect for personalization, sync with Planner and To-Do for simple task systems, portability, living editions. It's now filtered it down to not just look at the individual features, but how it can be used by solo business owners. This is what I mean by having a conversation with it. It's not just one question and done. You can refine, dig deeper, ask follow-up questions. Compare this to doing research the old way. I'd open up my first browser tab, skim through articles, find something that was interesting, open up another tab, keep going, open up, and I'd maybe end up with, 5 to 8 tabs open. Then having to go through each of them in turn and piece together and grab the bits that are useful to me. That would be probably a good, 30 minutes of time spent. This, it took 2 minutes. Now, do I still go and verify this information? Yes, especially if I'm going to teach it or create content around this. But as a starting point for research, time saving. Last demo, Excel help. Because let's be honest, we all have those moments when we know Excel can do something, but we can't remember exactly how. So here is some sample data that I've got to play with. I have dates in col A and attendee numbers in col B. I want to calculate the average attendance for sessions in March 2026. What formula should I use? Question mark. Okay, let's see what this gives me. It's given me the formula with all the details in. It's explaining exactly what it's done and why it's chosen things. So B is my attendee numbers, which it isn't. A is the dates. And I got the formula, but I still need to adjust it. So what I can do is, for my attendees, I can add that specific formula to the cell that I'm in. And of course, it's in the wrong place and there isn't actually any March details, which is why it's giving me error message. But there's my formula, which I can now edit to match my real data. A better way is to actually give it information that I need. So I have dates. Here is the information I have. Here is where it can be found. And it's given me the details. And there you can see it's giving me the formula that I need to use. So I can choose which cell I want it to appear in, add that to the cell, and it is going to give me an error message because I don't have anything in March, which is why it's not going to work. But pretend that that information was correct. You can see it says how this works. So it's not just told me what it's done, it's actually told me why it's done it and how it's worked. So D is the attendee numbers, A is the dates, and then it gives me the criteria to ensure it's only March. It says I can adjust this as I need to, and it can give me other options. Now, if I wanted to keep this information, I could click on the plus, which will add all the information to the new sheet. Do be careful about the copy button. It's going to copy the whole information. So that plus and that little copy actually is all of the results that Copilot Chat gave me, not just the formula. This is saving me from either Googling Excel formulas and scrolling through 3 pages of results to find the right one, or trial and error trying to remember the syntax. Instead, I just asked and it told me exactly what to do. The key? I described my data structure and my specific goal, so it knew exactly what I was trying to achieve and showed me how to do that. In the next video, the big question everyone asks: can Copilot access my files and is my data actually safe? I'm going to show you exactly what it can and cannot access with both the free and the paid versions and what you need to know about privacy. If this was helpful, subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.